Okay. All right, guys. So we're going live now. I just want to go ahead and go live and talk about the things that were going on and kind of get down to like the bottom of why we think it's happening. Because we've been banned from the Good Vibes server. So like effectively, we don't have a way to communicate with them, but they can come in here and sit silently and do that whatever they want to do. The thing that like I found most concerning was how like they came in here actively recording our stream, trying to figure out like what was going on over there, and then are being super hypocritical about the fact that I specifically went over there and recorded their stream to confront them about them recording this server. A lot of people have been getting like bans. I think all of this really just kind of like comes out of the fact that they don't like Neon. I think that's kind of where like a lot of it originally came from, and they couldn't really win any arguments on this matter, and eventually just like tried to go to like the smallest factor that they could, try and create turn a non-issue into a real problem. So I don't know. I was kind of wondering like if anybody wanted to add like their perspective to things that had happened to them.
I mean, I just want to be able to, like, be allowed to communicate with any of them on what's going on. Like, I never got a reason for me getting kicked. I had to find out through, like, talking to multiple people that my private DMs got leaked. And even the private DMs just show that I had caught someone in a lie because they're saying that they were not engaging in our server, they were not talking behind our backs, etc., etc. Yet when I went to go see who all was online to, like, I don't know, either message someone if I knew them all on there or whatever, I saw it, the stream was live, I moused over it, I saw our usernames, they were streaming our server. So that was quite hypocritical. And then also to sit there and have a big grand display about you know, things being leaked or snake behavior, my private DMs are being cropped and shared around to prove that I am somehow insidious to the group, when all it was to do was prove that we were being lied to. And I think that that was a completely fair decision and a completely fair action of my own to show that.
Which like I think personally is fair. And then like I would kind of just like to comment on the fact that like when I went over there recording the server, that was because like my server is being streamed. I'm being told it's not being talked about over there, and they're saying that like they are actively not talking about us. So clearly, if my server is being streamed over there, that's not true. They are talking about us and they do care. And then furthermore, once I got over there, one of the moderators in Good Vibes community was actively protecting the individual who was streaming my server under an anonymous account, refusing to tell us like who it was. So it felt like the moderators over in Good Vibes community were actively endorsing this type of behavior. And not only are they endorsing it, when I show that I have a concern with it, their course of action is to try to get upset with me for going off on Halle Dally because she's too intelligent to make a justifiable decision, or unintelligent to make a justifiable decision. Which I feel like I should be able to do if people are just gonna like try to come and fuck around and create havoc and then like hide from it when I come to confront them. I don't know what else they would expect me to do, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like, you probably could have approached things a little bit different in the way that you spoke to her, but it was very obvious that you were getting frustrated because it was like even reviewing the VOD that she was not willing to engage or say who it was, and also not being willing to say who was streaming it as well shows like it whether it was just her wanting to be loyal and protective, it would still appear to you as insidious, and rightfully so. I think it's just really unfair, everything that's happening, when all of this could have just been dealt with in DMs, communicated. Like if someone just reached out to me like, hey, we got this cropped image, what was the context, what was happening, and I could have explained, like, people came into the Discord, said that everything that we believed is not true, that none of us were being talked about. The server wasn't being talked about. None of our channel gets streamed or anything, and I had caught it in basically 4K that was not the case. I really don't see how it just doesn't make sense, the reaction. I mean, of course it's not good to be caught when you're doing something wrong, but this whole calling kicked, reinvited, it's just not a healthy way to manage with any of this. All of this could be summed up with a conversation. I would be happy to moderate for it. I want everybody to get along, because we're all basically started from Good Vibes, or at least that's where I started, and a lot of people came in from, like, of course, like, people started in Homies, DGG, and came into the Good Vibes, but, like, when it comes to, like, the fundamental relationship between the two servers, like, it's Good Vibes and mildly serious, and every time it seems like there's not a problem, boom, I hear shit in the grapevine that there is a problem, and it seems to just spawn from nothingness, and then it becomes an actual something, and it's really unfortunate. And really stressful too. It's like there's a lot of people I like in Good Vibes, and now I don't know how I'm gonna like manage any of that.
I don't know. I would say there's a lot of people that I thought that I liked in Good Vibes, but it does seem that a lot of them are really like adverse to any level of confrontation, especially when they don't know like the best answer to give, or potentially like look bad in light of that confrontation. Like, and like again, like I don't know like what they would expect from me. It feels like a lot of times like what I see how things get handled over there is that like people just like walk on eggshells and don't confront things and act shady behind each other's backs. And like I'm just fundamentally not that type of person. So I feel like that really makes it really difficult for me to be in that type of environment where people just want to like be shady and talk behind people's backs all the time. And I think that that's like really exemplified in the hypocrisy that's being displayed right now, with them trying to come over here and record my server, but then get mad when I go over there and record their server. And then on top of that, like on top of Hallie protecting the individual that was recording my server and streaming it over there anonymously, she has been going around calling me like a liar because of an individual or an interaction that occurred involving Queen, with something that happened in DGG, and me like pointing out that like, no, Hallie, you are lying. You were confronted about this. You did acknowledge back then that you did this thing. And she, instead of like owning up to her mistake, decided she wanted to call me a liar.
Yeah, I don't know like the full history for like all the DGG stuff. I only hear like snippets of it, so I'm not gonna comment on that because I wasn't present for that. I was only in DGG for a few months before I got into Starkey server, and now this one. And even when I was in DGG, I think I hung out mainly in the fitness and art text channels, not even the voice chat, except for a month until I got the invite by Starkey. So can't say much on that aspect, but it is all very unfortunate, and it's just very emotionally fatiguing. It's all so draining. I don't really know what to say or what to do.
Um, I would say like the only things that are really concerning about it to me is that like I have like people reaching out to me about things with like invalid takes, because people do like this background talk instead of just like being upfront about things and trying to like voice their opinions. And like again, I feel like this is because like a lot of them know that like they are upset with something that's happening, but like it's not justifiable for them to be upset, or they put themselves in a situation where somebody had to say something to them. And like I can understand like if you're only comfortable being in like spaces where people never confront you, that's fine. But like don't come into one where that's not the case and then get upset that you get confronted and like you can't handle that or deal with it. It feels like all of this for me just stems from a lot of them being bad at handling confrontation and allowing things to spiral out of control instead of figuring out how to appropriately handle it.
Yeah, like I don't know, just for me to get my first initial reinvite, which like it seems that I'm gonna get reinvited back in, but no one that's kicking me or having the actual issues is talking to me. I have to talk through other people to have my opinions put forward, and that's it's just ridiculous. It's something that you would have going on in high school where like, oh, Becky said this. Well, Sarah actually said this about this, and well, what does Becky think about what Sarah said? Blah blah blah. Blah. Like, it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable.
Yeah. It's not, and like it's even more frustrating that like instead of like acknowledging these issues, they just continue to like create smaller and smaller and smaller communities that they feel like they can comfortably exist within on top of it, to be honest.
I don't. Oh, geez, I just
Like
don't know what would
it
fix
sounds
it.
like they're kicking a bunch of people and like they're consistently like Eve. Like they apparently don't like let people like Eve be moderators over there because she's a moderator over here. Literally one of the most good faith people in DGG, or in the DGG communities. So it's just like how fucking delusional can you actually be that that's a thing you really consider?
Wait,
Um,
Eve's not allowed to be a mod over there? But Eve's never done a single thing wrong over there. She's never done
Eve's never done a
anything.
thing wrong anywhere.
I don't think she's ever even gotten in a fight once in the entirety of me seeing her in any calls. She just sits and listens and has like the occasional opinion that's completely sound.
I
Are
mean,
you
Neon's
serious?
managed to provoke her, but
But that's okay. That's Neon. In the nicest way, Neon. You have a knack for that.
My name and neck.
Maybe he's not here, but like,
Nah, he's eating
I don't
food.
think. But you know what I mean? Like is someone getting upset with Neon? Neon loves poking the bear, and he
yeah,
does
I'm
it
not surprised.
in the majority all in good fun.
I'm the bear.
I think that's another.
And you know what I mean by
like,
majority.
problem. Yeah, I think that's another problem that Big Vibe or Good Vibes has is that like I just don't think they understand the concept of joking. I feel like they're very quickly offended, to the point that like they will break down what could be really positive and good relationships with people because they just don't understand like their sense of humor or way of communicating, and they assume that it has to be nefarious. It's really paranoid behavior. At least that's what it feels like to me.
You know, the name of Good Vibes is very ironic for a community that's full of drama.
Yeah, got it. I think that's been brought up before.
Yeah, and like I guess like the part that's frustrating is like I know one of them is watching the stream right now. They're probably streaming it over there. And like they refuse to come over here and like talk about themselves. It's crazy, honestly.
I'd just love to be able to talk about it. Like, I wasn't, like, especially for my DMs, wasn't sitting there like, see, like, Good Vibes is evil or anything. I was just like, hey, there is clearly a snake in the group that is trying to pull strings in the background. Like, here it is. Here's the evidence. Like, we have
Also,
full
I just
proof
want
now.
to say I feel like Purple. I'm just like, oh my god, she just keeps giving me snake vibes, and like I don't know if she thinks that she's working in good intentions. But like I honestly, she does these things all the times. When she does something, and she'll just be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that that was a bad thing to do." But then, like, apparently, she's always like so fucking socially aware when it comes to the people she cares about being wronged. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me, and it certainly doesn't add up. I don't understand why she would orchestrate a big deal about a story where like your DMs are shared, where it shows a screenshot of you showing what's going on, and Good Vibes when Good Vibes is clearly at that moment streaming my stream under an anonymous account in their profile. Like it just all seems like such bad faith, hypocritical judgments that like I don't understand. I just don't see how they can't grasp it.
Yeah, it's a little. That's. I mean, she apologized for
That's what
all
she
of
does,
that, but
though. She always gives like this simple apology and, well, oh me, I was too stupid to know. And it's like you're not too stupid to know. You know exactly what you're doing.
I just at the very least I would have appreciated if she had kept like topics that had nothing to do with the situation like cropped out of it, like that would have been very easy to do.
Dude, I'm sure she laughed about it when she shared it at the end of the day. Like, I don't know what to say. I've seen her she's acknowledged just liking to start shit to me before. So like, this isn't even a thing I'm assuming. She's straight up said she likes doing it. It feels like she isn't good enough at it to do it in this community, so she's choosing to start shit in that community where she can actually have some fun with it.
Well, it wasn't funny at all. There was no haha or punchline to any of that. I mean, it is what it is. It's not like it really hurts me that much. I just don't like. I don't know. I don't like hearing constant comments behind my back. Like I'm a very easy person to talk to. At least I think I am.
I would say generally so, probably. I don't really
mean,
know
if you're
how
doing
I
something,
understand people.
I don't know. I mean, like if you're doing something super foolish like potato or something, like that's that's a special case. But I just would have really loved just a DM
I mean,
like,
it's
hey.
a special case, but it also, again, the situation of potato shows their hypocrisy, because like when it was an individual that they didn't like their main thing to me about coming at Hallie has been is she can't handle these types of situations. She's kind of, Hallie's Hallie and she's kind of slow. But like at the same time, it's clear that fucking potato is not all there. And they had no problem with members of their community joining that server explicitly to harass, make fun of, take screenshots of his reactions, and share them in that Discord. And they have continued to do it up until most recently. I had one of their community members in here a couple days showing information between them and Potato. And like, I'll acknowledge I do that, but I also acknowledge that I set out to troll people and kind of create shit. And I would say that that's the difference, is they try to act high and moral about it when they're doing it. But when somebody attacks them for their behavior, it's just always unjustified.
I could definitely see the favoritism in that for sure. It's all a little difficult to find the words right now. I'm pretty just mentally fatigued on all of this. Like I would have loved to just have any of the people who had a genuine issue reach out to me rather than people on the sidelines being like, "Hey, I'm gonna communicate on your behalf because I know you as a person and I know you do things in good faith." And it's like I really appreciate that. I'm really glad that people see me for who I am. It just stings to know that they're unwilling to communicate with me at all, especially after I've defended and protected Starkey in the past multiple times.
Well, I mean, that's how I felt with Starkey. And when I voiced the fact that I felt like I went out of my way to defend and protect Starkey, and I felt like we had a better relationship than she showed when she reacted with me. She basically told me that like that was my fault for having that much faith in our relationship. So I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about really any of this at the moment. Like even being told that I'm gonna get reinvited back, I don't even know if I'd want to accept it because I just feel like I'd be walking on eggshells the whole time, waiting for someone to catch me like slipping or not towing the right line, and that's not. I can't deal with that.
And that's why I left, is because I felt like I was walking in eggshells in that community. I just didn't feel like I was meant to be in that community, and so I left it. And that's pretty much when all of this started, was the fact that I left, and a lot of people in that community started appearing primarily in this community. And it feels like ever since that was kind of noticed, there's just been like this um not constant, but like consistently upkept like revenge cult against me for having left, and I don't know why, honestly, at the end of the day. It feels like a lot of them don't like me, so I don't know what problem they would have with me being there or not being there.
Yeah,
If they just want to be friends, we can be friends. They just have to stop being so butthurt all the time.
or at least communicate what they feel wrong about, because I had to find out, like, through different people to parse through the image. It wasn't just a DM from the server owner like, hey, you're getting kicked for this reason. We can talk in the future, or you're on probation, or whatever it would be that they felt was justified. I woke up, looked at my server list to go join your server, and I'm like, oh, GoodVibes is missing because they're right beside each other on my list. I'm like, that's shitty.
Well, I mean, like, I think that this is like one of the big problems with Good Vibes, for at least as long as I've been there, is that like people will make like really quick, rash judgments. They're very reactionary and they don't really think about the situations and how things played out or how different people might be responsible for how things went down. It seems like as soon as somebody makes a point that might be valid or not something that one of the moderators in that community wants to overcome, you're kind of immediately wrong, or they lose the ability to perceive where you're coming from, at least until they calm down. And so, I mean, I think this is why a lot of members in Good Vibes have been kicked. I think this is why a lot of members in Good Vibes can't be moderators, despite the fact that they're some of the most active members in the community. There are so many things that just like relate back to like just like these paranoid delusions of people being out to get you when they're not.
It's because no one talks. Like fundamentally, all majority of this could have been dealt with in a single one-on-one chat. Like,
And then
maybe they
like,
wouldn't have agreed with my viewpoint and kept me kicked, and that would have been completely their right and their choice. But at least they could have understood where I was coming from, and that would have been
well,
the
like,
most fair
then Dan
choice.
coming over here trying to be like, we don't talk about you. Dude, you literally talked about coming over here before you came over here to people over there, and then you got over here and started streaming this server under an anonymous null account over there, while you're saying nobody over there worries about us. Meantime, people over there are actively watching our stream to talk about us. Like, it's so fucking insane. Just how just the general like cognitive dissonance of it all, to be honest. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it at all.
Yeah, the null account thing is really what set my brain on fire, and that's why I sent it to you. I'm like, they made a literal null account to do this. Well, maybe not literally for this specific scenario, but clearly it's not being used in a positive or helpful fashion.
I would say that's true. No, it seems like they're using it for nefarious actions, actually. Um, like, I love that you're so good faith in saying that it's clearly not being used for like a positive or helpful action, but like no, it's actually like stark contrast to that. It's clearly being used for nefarious actions, and that was clearly the intent for creating the account. Was the intent to commit nefarious actions with it? So I just. I don't understand how these people became so comfortable with throwing stones in their glass houses, to be honest.
Oh, it's just quite sucks all around, because I've never really had any issues with anybody, and all of this has happened. But you know, I can't control how people feel on things. Certainly not. And I understand that they can't understand where I'm coming from on things all the time. But again, ask me a question. I'll be honest. I'll tell you exactly what's going on in my head. Can't lie, to save my life. I'm trying to engage in this the best I can, and I'm all up in my feelings. I'm so sorry.
No, you're okay. You're okay.
Yeah, I just
I mean, like, I think that that's like I can have this conversation, and it's just like not an emotional conversation for me because like it's just the stupidity that bothers me. But like this is the type of like, and I probably would have like cared at a point in time about like that server and the people in it, but I just don't anymore. But, like these are the things that like people like you who genuinely do care about a lot of the people there who are genuinely like really good people that go out of their way to be understanding and caring for other people in ways that I can't even possibly try to ascribe to myself. Um, they just they see that some of these people affiliate with people that they don't like, and they just like cast them aside. Meanwhile, they allow people in their community who are actively being bad faith to be present there. Like, you can like they can come up with whatever they want about you telling me that they were streaming my server, which seems like a valid thing for you to be able to do. Um, but like, how do they justify all of the bad faith actions from individuals in their community that are like Purple watching my stream just to try and find something that she could create some type of drama with? Like, how is she not seen as more bad faith than you in that community? It's other than the fact that it seems like she's creating information they would like to consume, whereas what you're doing in that specific instance showed their own nefarious actions. Like, it's really crazy.
Fucking internet tech.
I don't want to comment on Purple because I've accepted the apology she gave. I feel a type of way about it, but I don't hate her or dislike her about it. It just didn't, like that gut feeling where something just doesn't feel right, but that's not really enough to go off of. I have that feeling, and it really sucks because she and I've never really interacted much. When we have, I thought it was positive, but I don't know. I thought people knew me better than that to not assume that I was just trying to, I don't know, start something or anything. I caught a discrepancy, and I felt, you and I are friends. We talk all the time. I felt you deserve that vindication because you've had these beliefs. You've heard whispers through the grapevine. We've all heard whispers through the grapevine, and I've, through the grace of whatever God mocks us in this world, I checked who was online, and there it was, clear as day. I just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I really did wrong.
All right, yeah, no, I agree. I don't know. I started the stream hoping some of them might decide to come over and actually talk about like the ideas they have about what's happening or their perception of events. But it does not appear that that is going to happen. Hopefully, they can go ahead and watch this and do some type of like self inspection or and like look within about what's going on. But I don't know. It does probably seem like it's a little bit of a pointless attempt at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, and then like of course if anybody else wants to say anything before we end the stream, they can.
Great, okay. Real quick. I am a DM away. If they're watching this, if anyone clicks on this, I am a literal DM away, and you can ask me any question, even if it's uncomfortable. I'll be willing to discuss it. Just don't blindside me. That's really, really, really unfair. I wouldn't do the same. But that's all from me. Anybody else? Be my guest.
Also, I'm sorry, I do have to say I really don't appreciate the way that me and Ron's relationship has been cast by some people, including the admin or owner of that server just yesterday. Again, it shows genuine nefarious intent that I am not allowed to be friends with people without them trying to assume some type of like sexual relationship. It's genuinely disgusting. But that's all I'm going to say. Everybody have a great day.
Gay sex.
Yeah.
And scene.
Wait. Okay. Well, we're gonna end here in a second. When Ron, would you go fucking end the stream? I can't get the thing to pop up right now.
Yes, this is Tech and I engaging in intercourse.
Yes.
Go fucking press the fucking button on the computer.
If you listen in carefully, you can hear the gluck gluck noise